One night, Patrick Moorman went for a walk in the woods. He stopped a young man and extorted him in force by beating him and asked for money. After getting what he wanted, he left this unlucky guy alone in the woods. He ain't noticed that someone already observed his acts. The young guy came and stabbed him from behind. With anger, he stabbed him again and again, crushing his head with a boulder. This young guy left the dead body alone in the woods. This guy named Anthony Braithwaite. Officer Kelly was carrying out patrol in the woods. He had found the dead body on the ground. Based on what he saw, he speculated that the murderer is still not far from there. Young Braithwaite felt very tired and stopped for a rest. He decided to take a nap before going back home. And he also bring together the knife that had been used for the murder he commits before. Officer Kelly found the young Braithwaite in suspicious circumstances. The young man has been asked for several questions. The young man kept denying, and the officer not satisfied with the answer. Suddenly, the officer found the murder weapon. The officer kicked him and he fell on the ground. The young guy keeps struggling to get free, but the officer is much more stronger. The officer arrested him and took him to the prison to be tried in front of the king on the next day. The next day, the king attended the murder trial. He was accompanied by the officers and guards to the court of king. It was conducted at the compound of the castle. Trial begins with the king read the charges imposed on Braithwaite. All of the evidence clearly indicated, and the young man can only bow his head and only regret what has he done. He admitted the murder, and king sentenced that the young man will get hung as the execution on the murder, and the execution will be carried out 1 month from the date of trial. Anthony Braithwaite have regret his action and hope to have a miracle happen to acquit him of the execution. Thomas Lampleigh is a noble, influential, and have a high position in society. The Braithwaite asked him to seek pardon from the king to release him from the execution. Looking at the young man, Lampleigh asked him to be patient, and he will strive to seek pardon from the king. On the next day, Thomas Lampleigh faced the king and asked the king for giving a pardon to the young Braithwaite, which was executed for the murder. After heard the reasons, the king agreed to give him a pardon. Lampleigh was very excited because he was success to save the young Braithwaite from the execution. During the night, Thomas Lampleigh bring the pardon to the Braithwaite, and then he was released from the prison. Anthony Braithwaite was very happy and excited. After being released, he promised Lampleigh that he will give him £100. The Lampleigh was also happy and excited. Then, both of them left the prison with compassion. On the next few days, while the young Braithwaite rested in front of his house, Lampleigh came to pay him a visit and look for his condition. Feels that the young Braithwaite is in a good condition. Lampleigh asked him about the money that he had promised after being released from the execution. The young man refused to perform his promise and said that he would not pay him any sum of money because they never make an agreement about the reward when the young man asked him to get pardon from the king. The Lampleigh was very disappointed. With full of anger, he said that he will take this thing to court. Braithwaite didn't afraid, but he challenged the Lampleigh to take this case to the court. Both plaintiff and defendant attend the trial. The Lord heard all the charges and defenses. Then, the court decided that although Lampleigh consideration was passed, which is the offer from Lampleigh to give him £100 came after he had been released from the execution, which is the request for the pardon was made before he had been released. Braithwaite's promise to pay could be linked to Braithwaite's earlier request and treated as one agreement, where a past benefit was conferred at the beneficiary request and where a reward would reasonably be accepted. The promiser would be bound by his promise to the previous request. Thomas Lampleigh was very happy with the court's decision, while Braithwaite was thinking on how to get money to pay the claims.
I know it's kinda late, but happy birthday. Yeah, yeah, oh. I know you hate me. Yeah, yeah, oh. Well, I miss you too.